Welcome to this video on how Integrity Process Director has been integrated as external process editor for OPENCOSS. The tool is a website, and it can be used from everywhere through the web. As a prerequisite, it must be configured to be connected to both servers, Process Director and OPENCOSS. After login with password, one can access the website. The website provides facilities for managing process and for importing process-related data into OPENCOSS. Now let's see how Process Director helps to define processes. The tool provides, respectively, a process library and a project library, which contains the Railway Use Case project for this demonstration. Now, we're going to discover an overview of the content of the process library. The library contains standard and company processes, standards EN 50126, EN 50128, and GATC France. Library structure shows the set of processes in terms of CCL reference activities. From the root, we can access the EN 50126 process as it has been defined for the railway use case. Here, we can see the flow of sub-activities of the current process EN 50126. At any time, it's possible to display in BPMN notation the graph of the current process. Navigation through the process is possible from a Process Explorer. Here we select the reference activity Design and Implementation to discover how such an element has been defined to be compliant with the CCL meta model in terms of ref activity types for the current process node and in terms of relationship with other CCL elements here, required and produced artifacts and roles. We can also navigate from the existing relationships. We go back to the root named Home, from which we enter now in the EN 50128 process, as it has been defined for the railway use case. Here we discover its full BPMN view, which has been automatically built. From this view, we can navigate to any node of the graph. For example, the reference activity Software Validation, to see its relationship with other CCL elements, artifacts and roles. Now, from the process structure, let's navigate to the process definition for the GATC project. As we did previously, we can explore the GATC process. From the BPMN view, we discover the full graph of the process. By selecting the ref activity Software Development, we navigate to its BPMN view. From here, we navigate to the process definition of the ref activity Architecture and Design, where relationships with other CCL elements have been defined. At this step, we've seen how the railway use case has been captured at process level. Now, we present the GATC project itself as it has been derived from the GATC process. From the Project Explorer, we retrieve the inherited parts of the GATC process we saw earlier. For example, the process Software Development with its sub-activities and relationships with other CCL elements. The execution of the project is managed at each activity level, and so on at each sub-activity, with a start date and finish date, and with participants assigned to their role as it is required by the CCL activity type. After this short overview of the Process Director facilities in terms of process and project management, the second part of this video is dedicated to the facilities for importing process-related data into the OPENCOSS platform. Now, let's see how it's possible to import process into the OPENCOSS platform. For importing a process definition, we have to select the process library and the process. Here, we choose the EN 50126 definition. After checking CCL compliance, process is ready to be imported only if checks succeed. Otherwise, the tool reports errors. Here, for the reference activity concept, a technique has been erroneously assigned as an artifact. If there is no error, it's possible to explore the process-related data as it has been exported from Process Director. Now, let's see the importing step into the OPENCOSS platform. The process definition is sent as a whole into the expected JSON format. It must be also noted that communication is based on the REST stateless protocol. OPENCOSS platform reports if the process has been successfully imported or not. On the OPENCOSS side, with the CDO Explorer, we can see how the process definition has been imported. Now let's see the same scenario for importing the EN 50128 process. After selecting Process Library, we select the process. As we saw previously, the process may be imported or not. Here, an error has been detected according to the CCL meta model, where at most one technique may be defined for a reference activity. If there is no error, CCL process-related data may be explored before importing it into OPENCOSS. We chose to import the process. It's imported into OPENCOSS with success. On the OPENCOSS side, the process may be retrieved from the CDO Explorer. Here we select a reference activity to see its properties as they have been imported from the external tool, in terms of required and produced artifacts and roles. Finally, we decide to import the process GATC France for the railway use case by selecting the library and the GATC process definition. The process has been successfully exported without error. We choose to import it into OPENCOSS. We retrieve the process as it has been imported with reference activities and their relationships. After importing the GATC process, it's possible to import the GATC project on which it is based. By selecting Process Library, Project Library, and finally the project itself. At this step, the project being derived from the process is CCL compliant by constriction. We can import it into the OPENCOSS platform. Then we can explore the project on the OPENCOSS side by opening a new view in order to see the resulting process model. Now, let's see the update facility for the project progress. By selecting the GATC project, we obtain the current status of the GATC project activities according to the CCL meta model. In terms of start date and of participant. We chose to import this project progress into OPENCOSS, where we retrieved this update with the CDO Explorer For example, start time and participant of some activities, while the execution of the GATC project continues on the Process Director side by updating start or finish dates of some activities. At any time, it's possible to ask for the status of the project activities. The tool reports if the project progress is consistent in its execution. If that is not the case, it's possible to explore the project tree view in order to take into account the tool recommendations. Following these recommendations, we have to update the progress of the related activities. After these updates, a new check of the project progress gives us a new view of its execution, from which it's possible to see that an update into the OPENCOSS platform is now possible. Then we choose to import this progress. After updating the project progress into OPENCOSS, we retrieve the current status for any impacted activities. To end this video, let's see how an external process tool can easily be integrated into the OPENCOSS platform. The prototype realized with Integrity Process Director demonstrates that it's possible for such a tool to be compliant with the OPENCOSS requirements in terms of CCL metamodel and of expected functionalities.